Hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Y'all get in here, get in here, get in here, please. Potomac has officially wrapped up season 10 over. Done. In the pocket, in the bucket, whichever way you want to look at it. Part 3 of the reunion for RHOP season 10 has ended this evening. And I'ma just say this. I feel like the action went in reverse this year. I feel like we got the most action in part 1. It was kind of muted in part 2. And part 3, we had some pockets. And I want to talk about some of the pockets. Hey, y'all, I got the vertical and our regular live going. If you are in the vertical, we are only in here to make sure that y'all know that I'm live because YouTube does not always send out notifications. So thank y'all for hitting the like button. But while you kicking it over here, be aware when I end this live, y'all got to come to the other live so you can, get comfortable, get tucked in, because we got to talk about what happened tonight on this reunion. Karen is back. Oh, Bianca the Beautiful is in the chat on the vertical, letting y'all know when you leave this one, come to the other one. Okay, Bianca, you in the vertical, sis. We got to get you to the regular. Hey, Ian. Ian is in the vertical too. Y'all come on over to the regular one. I got y'all on both places because I don't want to lose nobody. Because y'all know once we get going, I cannot go back to repeat anything that come out of my big old mouth. Y'all know how to go. But I made sure we went live in both spots so we don't lose any of our people. How y'all doing? How y'all is? What a wonderful evening it is. So Karen is back. Okay. Let me just give y'all a quick recap before we get into the recap. Karen is back. Some things went different this time. None of the husbands came out, which was interesting, which was very interesting. None of the husbands came out. Gizelle didn't even get a recap package at all. They left her out altogether. I think she agreed to that. Thank y'all for the bubbles. Listen, let me find out that my people on my vertical live is showing me way more love. Let me find out I got more love on my vertical than my regular. Because I see bubbles just everywhere. Everybody in the StreamYard live, are y'all keeping up with the bubbles and the likes? Because like over here in the vertical, hey, oh so pretty sis, this is the vertical live. We're going to end this one and we're all going to go to our regular StreamYard live. But I'm so glad y'all found me. That's exactly why I did it. Yeah, they didn't give Gizelle a press package at all. Like she didn't get no recap package. Like they left all of that out. I honestly, I think she agreed to it because they were trying to make room for Karen and to give Karen enough time, because Karen ain't just no friend of, and she wasn't even part of the season. So in order to work her in, it made sense. Yvette says not enough husbands left or refused to film. I don't know. Like it could have been that they refused to film, but you still had Tia's husband. You had well, we know Timu wasn't coming because we don't know what's going on with Timu, but we knew Timu was not coming. Angel's husband, if she wanted him to be there, he probably would have. Hey, Southern Ivy, you've been too busy to catch a live. So listen, sis, this is the vertical that you're in. When I end the vertical, y'all got to come over to the regular live. So if I'm pointing to you at this screen, when I end this live, go to the channel and we're going to be live on the StreamYard. I'm only live in here for now because I don't want to lose anybody. Yeah, so I do believe that Gizelle was on board with it. LW Smith says, especially since Andy allowed Gizelle to speak freely. Oh, yeah. He allowed her to speak freely, and that definitely gives Gizelle was on board with giving up her spot so Karen could have some airtime because, they in cahoots. They in cahoots. And I appreciate that because at least they let her come on back in. And we needed Karen there. Let's just be honest. My girl, oh so pretty in the house. Hey, that's right. You in the right one. Iron Butterfly is here. Everybody done slid up and through. So that was different. And then we got to talk about some other stuff. Wendy got a lot more time than she needed, in my opinion, for a lot of reasons. One, because you don't need to be talking. Two, because you still ain't keeping it real. And I'm gonna just say this up front. Karen wasn't wrong. Wendy do need to shut the hell up. But let me greet who's in the house, and then we're going to get into what's going on. And I got to tell y'all a couple things too. Okay, I got some health updates on me. Okay, and I don't talk about my health and stuff very much publicly at all, and even less than I did before. But I'm going to tell y'all everything. Queen of Hearts, KS is here. She is like number 1. Hey, boo. Adrian Marie is here. She's like number 3. Thank you. Hey, Cynthia Christian. She hit the button at the same time. Lauren Brown. Let me tell y'all about Lauren Brown. See, y'all don't know about Lauren Brown, but I'm going to tell y'all about Lauren Brown. Hey, girl. Thank you for being number 6. Look her. Lauren Brown, the Lauren Brown went onto my wish list. You know, it be in my box all the time, my description box. And it's not all the time. Oh my God, why somebody in my vertical talking about something? How old am I? I'm old as the hill, sugar. How you? All right. You're from Sydney, Australia. All right. So look, she went into my wish list, my Amazon wish list, and she grabbed this box of Turkish treats, which I thought was so adorable. It was so sweet because y'all know I just started learning Turkish and I am enjoying it because y'all know I love languages is one of my hobbies. And so when I got a package, I wasn't expecting anything because she didn't tell me. The Lauren Brown did not warn me that I was getting a package. So when I got a package, and I know, like, y'all know I got a little Amazon addiction or whatever, you know, I'm like Karen, I'm in lifetime recovery when it comes to Amazon. So I was like, did I order something and I don't know that I ordered something? No. The slip inside said it was from the Lauren Brown, and I saw that it was Turkish treats, and I was tickled. It warmed my heart. It just meant absolutely everything. So to the Lauren Brown, thank you, sis. You are wonderful. You are lovely, and you are loved. And I just appreciate you. And you put a big old smile on my face. And you don't even know how big of a smile you put on my face. Because things have not been very easy for me, you know, with the health of it all. But little stuff like that, like, y'all don't know how much it brightens my day and it brightens my heart. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Belize and JB, thank you for being like number 9. Hi there on the vertical. Weekend is great. Belize and JB is like number 9. Sean Living Life is number 4. How you doing? Honey, they could have done it in 2 episodes. I think they had to stretch it because they were trying to make room for Karen. And honestly, I feel like Andy wanted extra time to try to get Wendy to say something to make herself, you know, a guaranteed trip to prison. I think he wanted to incriminate that girl so bad. Thank you for being number 9, Priscilla Clemens. Gossip News, thank you for being number 10. My boo Texas Passion is number 14. Belicious, Miss Belicious, Beautylicious is number 13. The Crazy D Amazing DS is number 13. Also running at Reflection Corner. Miss Lovely T is number 14. Good to see you. All right, Diva 2, my girl out of Duval, is number 17. Good to see you. DV, hey now, is number 18. One Who Cares coming in. Hit the button at the same time. My girl Tracy Lashley is here. My girl, she's number 19. Good to see you. Aries Sun is 29. Happy to be happy. You know what? She is so thoughtful too. Let me tell you. And I know I just be talking to y'all about stuff that people do that y'all probably think is so small. You know, out of nowhere, this wasn't even nothing on my wish list or nothing. She just decided to help me out because y'all know I've been sewing since I could hold a needle, like literally. Even when I would get up in the middle of the night and sneak and sew clothing on my mama's scrap fabric, that's how long I've been sewing. And out of nowhere, she decided to send me a package of needle threaders. And I know y'all probably like, that's so small. It ain't, because the older I get, the harder it is for me to see how to thread those needles. And I used to be able to do it almost without looking, but now I can't because, you know, Father Time is picking my pockets like everybody else. But I wanted to say thank you to our girl Happy to Be Happy too. That was super sweet of you. Dana Brown, thank you for being number 29. And I want to thank Happy to Be Happy because she will check on me. You know, she don't call all the time, most times, but she'll call, she'll text me and check and see how I'm doing. LW Smith say, how y'all doing? Ian, my boo, my nephew is in the house. Number 28. Good to see you. Hey, Penny. Penny is number 22. Says she wasn't impressed with the reunion tonight, child. Yep. Andy skipped over a whole lot of stuff. We saw that last week. Andy been doing a lot of skipping. Yvette is here, our Birmingham beauty, all the way from the UK. Hey, Catherine Bennett, she number 24. And our girl Vet is number 31. That's what I'm talking about. Who else we got up in here? Y'all know I don't want to miss nobody. Lel, how you doing? Hit the like button. Glad you made it. Apple Charm in the house. Hey, boo. Thank you for being number 37. All right. Sweet Beloved is 36. All right. That's right. Oh, so pretty. You up in here. Hit the like button. Put your like number in the chat. Quick housekeeping. Y'all know, please put your like number in the chat. Hit your like button. Make sure that if y'all do curse in my live, that you misspell your curse words. That's all I ask. It ain't Sunday school, but please respect me in my space just a little bit. Be kind to everyone. Make sure you're using your engagement button. On the bottom right-hand side, it's a circle with the heart emoji. Tap it. Hit any emoji you like, and it sends up bubbles. And I need them because I'm sensitive, as y'all know. Okay? And make sure that we keep all convo on the people on the screen. No bickering, disrespect, meanness, nastiness is tolerated ever in my spaces. I just won't have it. Hey, Camille Fun, how you doing? Thank you for being number 41. My good sis, Magaline, Lamar, Linnell, Silas here. Say she number 3. Makeup addict in the house. Oh, Linnell was 33. Okay. Listen, Lauren, you don't even know, girl, that brightened my day up so much. It brightened my day up so much. I saw it and literally got like a little misty. I got a little misty. Y'all know I try not to be a water bag, but I did get a little misty because it was not an easy day. That was one of those days when it wasn't going so great. Some of y'all know what's going on with my feet and my legs and stuff like that. And it hasn't been pleasant. Like some days have been really, really bad. And that was one of those really, really bad days. And that popped up and it just really put a smile on my face and it put a smile on my heart. And that meant a lot to me. That meant a whole lot. Yvette says she think Wendy did well already, knew what she would or wouldn't say. I think she did too, but I also feel as though Karen wasn't wrong. Like, you can't play with these people because you got to look at that. They already was trying to lie on her in the press. And so my thing is, if you see that the people who are trying your case are trying to try your case in the court of public opinion and they're willing to tell lies to media outlets about you in order to like corrupt and poison the possible jury pool, say as less as possible. Think about it, right? They put out that this girl had a bunch of aliases and was like insinuating that she had credit cards and other people's names, and her lawyer had to come out and correct it. But what kept going through the gossip mill was the original lie that was told. Like, that's how it works. When people make up a story on you, that's the story that goes. Even if somebody corrects it, people do like this. They pretend they didn't see the correction and they keep telling the lie. So when you see that kind of thing is happening, you say less. Like, I get that she didn't say nothing wrong, but when you dealing with people that already are playing dirty with you and you're not even sure maybe why they playing so dirty, it's better to say less. Girl, needle threaders are a blessing from the Lord. You hear what I tell you? Happy to be happy is a sweetheart, and she helped save these old eyes because they're not as tough as they used to be, and I appreciate it. Oh yeah, baby, it's the small things that matter the absolute most. The absolute most. And I thank you again. Happy to be happy. That was sweet of you. Cynthia said, don't feel bad, Nisha. I got problems seeing sometime too. Girl, I never thought it would happen to me. And now here I am. Everything I read, I got to do like this. Thank you for being number 49. E-Boogie is 51. Hey, E-Boogie. Yep, Karen told them them people are watching. You got to be careful what you say. Even as a regular person, when you ain't got no charges, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You can have nothing going on and something pop up, and then people go back through your social media and see what you said 6-7 months ago and twist and turn your words into a pretzel. You know what I'm saying? It's just super dangerous, super dangerous. Diva 2 said, I think she shouldn't have said anything either because she acted like she wasn't sure of the dates. Right. Just say less. Right. But that's what I'm saying. So Karen is telling her, like, girl, I'm telling you, I just went through it. So the person you should listen to is the person who did not hush when they should have, and then they had to deal with the outcome. And let's be honest. This is bigger than what Karen had going on, and we don't know. And I doubt that Wendy has a cookie in her corner. Like, can we just be honest about a couple of things here? Wendy don't have a cookie in her corner. So you got to be like, for real, for real. For real, for real. Like, we can talk about a lot of things with this. Like, it ain't smart. It just is not smart. Not when they showing you that they're already willing to twist and turn, and they playing social media games. Is DS said Wendy should stop talking and take that cradle cap talking somewhere. Oh, child, that baby talk, the baby voice was doing me. The baby voice was doing me, Wendy. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Listen, if you're on this live and I'm pointing at you on this screen, go to the channel. When I end this one, it's still going to show you that I'm live. If you tap the icon for my channel, it'll bring you over to the other screen. If I'm pointing to you in this screen, don't go nowhere because you're already in the right place. But if I'm pointing to you here, I'm about to end this live. Okay? All right. Yeah, let's get on out of there. But yeah, so it ain't no joke. And Karen really told her the truth. And what I did not like about that exchange is, like, even though Karen kept it real with Wendy, Wendy still didn't keep it real with Karen. And we're going to get to it because the notes are here. The notes are here. The notes are absolutely here. But yeah, Wendy did not keep it real with Karen at all. And that's unfortunate. That is terribly unfortunate. And I have a prediction, y'all. I do have a bit of a prediction. And what I predict is that these ladies are going to have to learn a whole new Karen. That's what I think. I think they are going to have to learn a new Karen. This ain't the Karen they used to. They still know Karen, but I think they know Karen. They know inebriated Karen. They know compromised Karen. I don't think they know the version of Karen that they're about to get. I don't think they know that Karen at all. Like, at all. And it's unfortunate. And I think that Wendy was not ready for this version of Karen either. Wendy was not. Wendy was ready for inebriated, all over the place, deflect, deny Karen. She was not ready for sober. I'm talking a little bit slower, but I'm coming straight at you, Karen. I think next season is going to be extremely interesting. Hey, Teresa. Adrian Marie said, will they like the new Karen? No. That's the question. That is the question. Are they going to like the new Karen? Because the new Karen is not giving the same vibe as the old Karen. This one seemed like she's not going to be as playful with the clapbacks and the popbacks. I feel like playing with little Miss Surrey County might get you might get your issue. You might get your issue. Lord, Texas Passion say going to jail will change you. Yeah, I think the sobriety is what's changing her. Like, people, and I can be real with y'all. You know, we family, we could talk, we could be real. Most of us have somebody in our family who has an addiction of sorts or has had. Okay, everybody. I don't, you know. I think it's safe to say that. Like, if you don't have somebody who was on drugs, they was messing with alcohol, they was messing with something. You know, Miss Sparkle, our resident Mary Kay lady, is in the house. Y'all holler at her if y'all need something. If you in Discord, you know that's the easiest way to get her. She quick, y'all. She quick. Y'all know. Quick draw McGraw. So look, when people have addictions, right? And you're accustomed to their addictions, you're accustomed to them responding to you a certain way. They have different levels of inebriation. You don't really get to see these people sober. I had an uncle like that. Well, I got a couple uncles that, you know, used to be on cloud 9, okay? But one that's gone now, Uncle Bill, and I love my Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill, I don't think I ever knew him sober. I don't think I ever knew him sober. When we saw him, it was varying versions of alcohol. He had a level where he functioned. He went to work. He did very well on his job. He made very good money, but he was not dry. He was not sober. Then there was, it's social hour bill, and it's family around. It's a family friendly situation, so he's not three sheets to the wind. Then it was okay, Bill hanging with just his brothers and a couple of his nephews, and that was maybe a different level of drinking. And so you get to know these people with substances. You don't know that person without that, because I remember very clearly daddy telling us, like, Bill was a whole different person before he started drinking like that. So now they got to get to know the Karen who is not, I'm gonna say it like I want to say it, who ain't got varying degrees of high. They got to get to know that version of Karen. So I think it's going to be interesting. I could tell you flat out, Wendy was not ready for sober Karen. Stacy and her plastic wig were not ready for varying versions of Karen. For darn sure, Andy was not ready for sober Karen. Sober Karen don't seem as playful. Like, she got a little play to her, but sober Karen ain't that playful. It was a moment there where Gizelle was like, ooh, she kind of felt the sting. She popped Wendy and Gizelle felt it. And this ain't, whatever it was before, that ain't this. And this ain't that. So I hope they ready. Next season, in my opinion, has the potential for being very, very interesting. I think we're going to have some, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. They're going to have to get to know Karen, honey. Because I don't think they met her yet. I don't think they met sober Karen yet. But I'm for it. I'm going to just tell y'all that I'm all for it. Let me in. Let me in. If this is sober Karen, I think I might like her. I can't call it yet, because I'm getting to know her right along with the rest of us. But I think I may like sober Karen. Right. That's the real person. That's real. RJ says, happy Sunday, y'all. Thank you for being like number 65. I know good and hell well. It ain't 15 of y'all sitting in my goddamn house and ain't hit the like button. Are y'all trying to start your Turkish lessons on Duolingo? Is that what we're doing? Let me know. If that's what we're doing, I'm with it. If that's what we're doing, I'm with it. Okay. I got the notes. The notebook is on deck. Thanks to Iron Butterfly. My sis fitted me out with enough notebooks that I should be good for a couple of months, because I write a lot of notes to make sure that the story's straight. Yep, I'm here for her sober era too. Lel says, and I hope next season they really clean up their cast. Too much riffraff. They need to tighten up. For sure. And before I get to it, I'm going to tell y'all, Andy Cohen confirmed for me tonight that he does not like Angel. He confirmed it for me. I don't know about you, but Andy Cohen absolutely confirmed for me that he does not like Angel. Adrian Marie says Karen was shaking her head when Andy was questioning Wendy. I got Karen was saying, stop questioning her, Andy. Andy don't mean Wendy no good at all. Andy was absolutely trying to set Wendy up to say something she don't need to, because Andy is for the corporation, and the corporation makes money when the housewives go to jail. Andy would love for Wendy to go to jail. He feels like that would be great ratings, and he was doing his best to make her incriminate herself. I saw it a mile away. Now, I can't speak for nobody else, but I saw that a mile away. Karen is like, yo, you need to chill. Everybody got quiet at that point. Like, yo, Karen might be on to something. And Andy kept right on trying to get that girl to say something to incriminate herself. And she still didn't get it. The whole time Karen trying to give her what's what on that, she giving pushback. Like, girl, somebody who's already been through it is trying to tell you, you need to chill. You need to chill. I don't know. We're going to get into it, though. Let's get into it. Let's do it. So, notes are here. We started off part 3 with the potential to a big bang. And looking at everything they packed in, just like I said about part 2 to the RHOP reunion this year, I think they were trying to pack so much into it, there was no room to really flesh things out. The conversation that started with Monique saying, like, look, I wasn't really getting into that. I just felt like if anything's supposed to come back to me, it'll come back to me. And I'm, I ain't looking for it, but something did come back. Now, what I would love to know, what I would pay to know, and I do mean pay to know, whose name were they bleeping out? Whose name were they bleeping out that they could not say live on the air? Because whoever it was is somebody that everybody knows. And it dang sure wasn't Cookie, because if it was Cookie, they could have said Cookie's name. Okay? But this person was talking. They could not play the voice. Obviously, Instagram is open. Y'all do not leave YouTube to go to Instagram. I got Instagram open just to make sure we don't lose nobody. Okay? Hey, Black Smile, thank you for being number 71. Now, Lauren says, I believe it was one of her kids. Now, I will say this. I thought about that too, that it could have been one of Monique's children. It could have been Monique's son. What I will say from the bottom of my heart, okay, Yvette says she heard it was one of her sons. It was her son that was saying it, one of the kids. I had that feeling. I had not seen that yet on social media. But what I will tell you is this. If, in fact, that child is repeating what he heard from his father, and Stacy's name is the name the child heard, let me tell you something. Anybody who is dastardly enough to try to call this woman's children a liar to defend Stacy and her plastic wig needs to be whooped with extension cord, Hot Wheels tracks, and a wooden spoon. Like, you deserve a first-class A1 dancing beating. Now, some of y'all that was raised in the church, let me refresh y'all memory. Y'all remember when they would catch us chewing gum, passing notes, nodding off, or sniggling in the back of the church? Y'all remember how they would take us to the bathroom and they hold that one hand over your head and pop your butt and you just be prancing around in a circle trying to get loose? That's the dancing beating. And anybody, hey, boo, we live on YouTube. Make sure you come on over. Anybody who is willing to try to call that woman's child a liar to defend Stacy and her plastic wig, you need one of them good old dancing beatings. You need somebody to go and grab 3 switches off the peach tree and plait them up like hair and whoop you as soon as you get out the bathtub. Because how dare you? Angie girl, thank you for being like number 74. So Monique played the recording and was like, look, I already know. Oh, there go my peanut. She number 75. So y'all still not hitting the like button, huh? We're still not hitting the like button? Okay, I know what to do. No problem. If y'all are on Instagram, I'm about to end this live. We live on YouTube. Come on over. The channel is my name. Type it in and get in where you fit in. We're talking about RHOP Season 10 Reunion Part 3. This is the finale, and we're going to lay it all on the table, honey. So come on over to YouTube. Yes. So let's take a little look-see, shall we? Let's take a little look-see. I just need to see for myself if there are literally 15 to 20 people sitting in my house not hitting the like button. Because I just know nobody better not have that much nerve. I just know it. Because if that's the case, yeah, it's giving lesson time. It's giving somebody is ready to start learning Turkish. I'm having a ball with it, by the way. I'm having a ball. Hey, Yarma. Miss Yarma B. Coley RN. She is in the house. Hello, sis. You look so lovely. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you slid on over from Instagram, girl. Let me take a little look and see exactly what's going on here. Oh, no. Oh, no. There are 22 people sitting in my house not liking my video. 22. Where they do that at? Okay. No problem. No problem at all, honey. No problem at all. Mm-hmm. Carrie Clark, thank you for being number 80. No biggie. No biggie. Yeah, we're gonna switch from Chinese back to Turkish. Let me know. My moderators check my likes. Let me know when they get the likes together. Dominican Trilla is number 82. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know why people treat me bad. I go out of my way to make sure I get the story straight and everything. No love. Yep, hit it. It's free.
Çok.
Çok.
Ve. Çok.
Mm-hmm.
Bir.
Yeriz.
Yeriz.
Ve.
Ve. Nice.
Güzel bir kız.
Ooh.
Güzel bir kız.
Güzel bir kız. Güzel bir kız. Ha! I got it right.
Güzel bir kadın.
Güzel bir kadın. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. This is fun, isn't it? Y'all gonna be speaking fluent Turkish, Chinese, German. You didn't say 89 and 101 in the chat. Come on, y'all. Ain't nobody trying to learn Turkish. I love it. Shalonda. Hi. Thank you for being number 83. Tell them again, Tracy. This is like walking in somebody's house and not saying hey. See, Evie is agreeing with Ian. She don't want to learn Turkish either. And Turkish is fun. I am having a blast. The Güzel bir kadın means a beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. That's all of y'all. Okay. Sıcak ekmek. Sıcak ekmek. Hot bread. Mm-hmm. Yup. Yeah, you don't just walk in somebody's house and not speak, but that's how people be acting. Y'all give me my like count real quick.
Çok sıcak ekmek.
Çok sıcak. Çok sıcak ekmek. Very hot bread. Okay. Çok sıcak ekmek. 93 to 100. Okay. I can roll with that. Aw, Terrence sent a cash app, y'all. Wait. Hello. Oh, Lord. Terrence. Okay. Hey, Terrence. Terrence sent a cash app. Let me send a heart back. Thank you. That is so sweet. God bless you. Okay. Sıcak su. Hot water. Okay. Gossip news. She say, get on Duo so I have a friend. Yep. Y'all hit the darn like. Thank you. Thank you, Gossip News. All right. Sucuk switch. Okay.
Zor.
Okay. So I'll get back to it. I'll get back to the story. Let's get back to the story. We're going to skip. For now. Okay. Keep my likes going so that way we don't have to take y'all back to Turkey because we can go back. I enjoy it. All right. So. Ian say, hello, right? I can't do another language at this point in my life. That is no excuse. I'm older than you. And it's fun. It's lots of fun. There's lots of fun. Okay. And thank y'all for the support and thank y'all for backing me up with the Turkish. Okay. Yeah, she gave me a firm no, and she's bragging about not helping me with my Turkish. Hey, Jai Star. Yes, very hot bread and water. Yes. Socuk ekmek, socuk şu. Mm-hmm. So listen, everybody's face when Monique is playing this recording, so they couldn't play the voice, and it actually made a lot of sense that they couldn't play the voice if that's one of her children, right? So everybody's looking like, what the hell? What in the solemn hell? And it was the shocked faces. It was the mouths hanging open because they were hearing it from the child's voice. And if y'all notice, the rest of this reunion, Stacy was not as glib with her lies. It wasn't so glib, like, oh, well, I'm just going to lie. Oh, well, it just didn't happen. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why. And the plastic wig sitting by her head, refusing to sway to the left or the right. Okay. And it wasn't nothing that she could really say, in my opinion. At that point, Andy Cohen's voice was very telling. Yes, everybody's face was very telling. And then doggone Andy Cohen's voice was telling, because at that point, Andy Cohen's voice said, cut the bull crap. His voice said, cut the bull-ish. I was really waiting on Andy to cuss at Stacy at that point. I'm going to just tell y'all the truth. For real, for real. Adrian Marie says, Stacy jeopardized Monique custody situation. That's horrible. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Disgusting and horrible. Disgusting. She better be glad Monique done went to 25 or 30 therapy sessions or something, because Stacy really need her tail whipped. She's not going to convince me she didn't. Not indeed, if we got to listen, if we got the gossip correct, and that was indeed one of Monique's babies saying that that's the name he heard. Oh, you out your mind. You out your mind. Stacy needs to be took from the window to the wall. To that wig drop down and fall. Okay, because ain't no way in the hell. Ain't no way in hell. Gossip News say Andy is not regretting sticking with Stacy. The White Powder Ranger is a friend to no one. Absolutely not. I can tell you one thing. If that's what happened, I hope Monique find a way to sue. Not Stacy. Sue Bravo for having her there. And then see how they work it out. Because that was trashy. So at that point, Andy Cohen was like, Stacy, did you tell Chris that she was filming with her children? And whatever was said in the recording that we wasn't allowed to hear. Yes, the Lil Jon remix, From the Window to the Wall. Okay. Vita from Denver. What's up, Vita Worship? All right, Bianca, tell them again. Y'all hit the like button. Show love before y'all mess around and learn how to order hot water and tea in Turkish. Because that's what y'all going to end up learning next. You know it's next. So, you know, do yourself a favor. He was like, did you do that? And she never could straight up answer him. Instead, she's like, I got my own family and I just went through a divorce. And why would I do that? Girl, just say you did or you did not. DS say Stacy's face looked like it was a big lie being told. Oh, yes. First of all, let me tell y'all something. When Monique said, unfortunately, something came back to me, and I know y'all can't air it, but I can play it for you. As soon as Monique said that, the look on Stacy's face, one thing about Stacy, when she caught, she does this thing where she holds her face crooked, like she just had a stroke. Go back and watch. Stacy gets stroke face. Y'all know I can always people who lie, and they lie so much, they have tells. Every time Stacy get caught in a lie, she gets stroke face. Like this part of her face was like this. And her mouth up to the side. I'm like, oh, she caught in that lie. She got caught in that lie. I mean, I don't know why y'all thought that. Britt Edie was able to sue. She just didn't have the money to do it when she was supposed to. Hey, BB2, Miss Red, how you doing? Thank you for being 96. Yeah, I believe she said that she ain't gonna convince me she didn't, because good luck convincing me that a baby know to lie on you. Because how would that baby know to lie on you? Is DSA Stacy's face looked like she was sucking on a breath mint, like she was sucking on a doodle mint. Her whole face was twisted and lopsided. She looked like she had done had a goddamn multiple TIAs or maybe toxoplasmosis. Her whole face was drooped. off to the side. I said, did this hoe just sit up here and catch Bell's palsy? What the hell is this? Just, I said, don't you fake no stroke to get out of this lie, heifer. I was waiting on her. And so she was like, did you do that? Well, I mean, I was in the room with you. So it's like, so you admitting it, but how would the child know all these details unless the child is listening and hearing the conversations that his daddy is having? Come on now. I was in the room with you because you had came in my room. What they got to do with the fact that that baby know your name? Why would that baby be lying on you? Like, for all the people who like Stacy, who think lying is cool, lying is cute. Oh, let's all be liars. Let's just support the liars. You know, liars are the best. I don't know who these weirdos are that come out with the, oh, let's support the liars. Go liars. It's your birthday. Like, whoever you people are. If you can think that this is cool, you crazy. You sending me to the Ian and got me locked up again. You know what? I would like some pork cracklings, nephew. If I can get some cracklings, that'd be great. Cracklings and either a Topo Chico or a Pellegrino in the reflection corner. Because I've been sent in. I'm gonna pay it at the end of the live, though. I'm gonna pay it at the end. But yeah. See, Adrian Marie say Stacy was Chris's confidential informant. Clearly. But I just didn't like that. So she went through this whole thing trying to explain or whatever, trying to do, you know, Chinese calculus to explain how she didn't do it and how the kid know your name and now the baby lying on you too, type stuff. Keiarna tried to jump in. Now this is where I could have taken off my sneaker, thrown it through the screen, and hope to hit Keiarna on the side of her head. Shut up. All this time, Stacy been lying. Now she caught in the lie. There's nobody she can deflect on and make them into a villain. Keiarna, why is your mouth open? Put a 1 in the chat if you was ready for Keiarna to shut the hell up too. Ian say, I'm on I'm on it. Because that multiple TIAs is what got you there. Golly. Eva, behave. Ian, why you ain't send her to the corner? Yeah, we did not need Kay's commentary. I'm glad to see the ones, and I'm not the only one that wanted Keiarna to shut the entire hell up. Like, why are you talking? Okay, Irish Essence. Irisha Sims. You are so pretty. Welcome. Child, when I tell y'all that we attract all of the most beautiful ladies on YouTube, I ain't joking. If y'all don't get a load of this pretty sister right here, hey sis, y'all tell her, hey, listen, she came on in here and was like, yeah, I belong here. We some kin, DNA test accepted. I can't stand Keiarna. Keiarna got on my nerves like, why are you even talking? Kay wanted to say something so bad and basically said nothing. She never has anything to offer, but always wants to be heard. Like, girl, is your middle name Tea Kettle? I swear she got to be the most emptiest water-headed heifer. All she do is go around making noise, hooker. If the water's ready, pour it in the cup and bring us the tea bags. Just stop talking. Golly. I was sick of her. So ain't nobody pay her no attention. Hey, Shakuru. You welcome, sis, and thank you for being gorgeous and being here. But nobody wasn't listening to her, and they kept right on talking over her, and I was like, keep it rolling. So she started that. I don't talk to Chris. I talk to my family in my house with my husband. Girl, did you forget you tried to tell us y'all was divorced and wasn't getting remarried? So is it your husband or is it your ex-husband? You lying hussy. So then she come jumping in again. Wait. She jumped in after, but Monique was like, well, girl, you said you wasn't in contact with him, but you forgot. You showed me text messages from before I even came on the show where y'all was in contact, remember? And then production rolled that beautiful bean footage where she absolutely showed the message to Monique where he was like, what's up? I'm hearing my name being discussed during filming. If he knew to reach out to you during filming and he was comfortable doing so, and he had your contact info to do that. Y'all absolutely was in contact, Stacy. Yvette said, I hope they don't bring her back for Karen to tell her what to say, as she admitted. Thank you for the super sticker, Shakuru. My good sis supported me, and I love you for that. Thank you, sis. So dig this. After all of that, here come Keiarna jumping back in again. And I'm just like, girl, we don't need your input. Stacy has hung herself. Monique is playing it calm and cool and just basically putting the ball in her court. Why you got to try to talk over everybody? Why do you need to be heard? You already got on that loud behind dress. Look like you done walked in there on Michael's glitter and rhinestone aisle, covered yourself in E6000 and just had a conniption fit on the goddamn floor. Your dress is loud as the Super Bowl. You don't have to be heard every 2 minutes. We hear your dress and your shoulder. We don't want to hear it, and it won't quit talking. So she jumps in. My thing was, Monique, you came in the group and you was vulnerable and you put it all out and you just was, telling us how you felt and stuff. And then for me to hear from, get in the car and hear from Cookie that Chris said this, that, and the third. And that Chris said this, that, and the third. And if this don't get cleared up, then he gonna do a cease and desist and blase squaze. Girl, we already know about the cease and desist. We found that out when Monique first came out there. Remember, she already told us when her and Ashley out to dinner. The people served her cease and desist the night before the reunion at the dinner. Come on now, what was the point of that? Like, we already know. We know. It's like at the end of the day. Oh, Diana, who is Diana? Wait, what's your YouTube name? Because I don't want to say the wrong name if I ain't supposed to say the wrong name. Let me send a heart to Diana. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. I'm trying to look at this. Oh, this Believes in JB. Believes in JB. Thank you, girl. I had to try to find the name. Thank you, sis. But I just couldn't understand, like, what is wrong with you? Lolo Duncan say, smells like Kay had something to do with it. Lolo. Tell me how Kay talked to Monique's child to make Monique's child lie on Stacy. I'll wait. See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all want to support Stacy in that plastic wig that be sitting up on top of her head swag surfing? But there's no way out of that, because how the hell did the baby? So now Monique Churin is in cahoots with Keiarna. Come on now. Listen, don't twist this, don't twist yourself that hard. Don't do it. It's not weird though. It's not weird because we done already figured out during the season that Karen is the godfather. Cookie is the go-between. Okay, I guess we got to go back. Not Lieutenant Uhuru over there running her mouth. Now listen, Keiarna is cute, but she is no Nichelle Nichols. She ain't gonna never be fine as Uhuru. Okay? Now, for those of us girls that grew up on the original Star Trek, all of us who wanted to look like Lieutenant Uhuru, Miss Nichelle Nichols, we have studied all her moves. Keiarna is cute, but she ain't no Uhuru. She wish. Now, maybe that's what she was going for with that getup she had on. But let's get back to this, because we got to draw the lines, because I know some people was not here during the season when we already connected the doggone dots. Okay, Gossip News, thank you so much for sending a cash up. Let me send a heart back. I appreciate you. I'm gonna find you on Duo. All right, boo. So remember during the season we already connected the dots. Gizelle already told it, and we had already figured out Cookie was the person that Karen was in contact with, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you with me. Every time you hear something and you know where I'm coming from, put a 1. I want to see a sea of ones in the chat. Cookie was Karen's go-to, right? 1. Cookie was the one that Karen was talking to when she wasn't talking to nobody else. Okay? Cookie was the one at the table with Gizelle and Ashley now when Ashley let it out that that Stacy had been messing around or at least dating Chris Samuels. And Cookie was like, what? What happened? You know, Cookie was all in the mix. Then you got Keiarna talking to Cookie because Keiarna was sitting up there doing Karen dirty work. That's why she was popping Stacy. What she wasn't ready for was that Stacy was going to play victim and say she was being aggressive even when she wasn't. But that's where it came from. And that's also, I feel like that's the biggest reason why Keiarna was going after Wendy. It was for Karen, because at the end of the day, Karen done came out during this reunion and told y'all she felt betrayed by Wendy because Stacy claimed she said something. Karen say, you believe her? Wendy went along with Stacy, and Keiarna went after Wendy, but she didn't even have no reason for going after Wendy. That was for Karen. If y'all with me so far, I need to see ones. Okay, yes, we loved Uhuru. Now, not only that, if Karen is the one pulling the strings, and we done already figured out that Karen is the godfather, she was pulling the strings. She had Keiarna going after them. So of course she talking with Cookie because Cookie was the coordinator. Cookie was the one calling the shots. Of course, Cookie was like, and you know, Cookie is already close with Chris. So of course, Cookie was like, oh, he already telling me he heard yada, 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 scoop, scoop, scoop. There was no way for it to be anything other than. You say Chris and Cookie and Son could have overheard phone calls by mistake, but intentionally manipulative for Chris. No, ain't no way to twist that. She did that. That child don't even know your name to put nothing on you. The child don't have no beef with you. That's what I'm saying. Stacy did this. There's no way out there. Stacy did that. I wasn't in contact with him, but you forgot you showed us. I didn't date him, but you forgot they got you on the hot mic at the trip. Well, Timu was seeing people, and Chris was one of the people I was seeing. Oh, but I wasn't never seeing them. Stacy did that. The question is, why you being nasty? Monique didn't do you nothing. Why you being nasty? That's the question. And I already peeped. Every time Monique is even nice to her, Stacy had this little stink look on her face, which means you done already picked the side. You ain't no better than Cookie. The difference is at least Cookie walked into the situation as Chris' friend. So when Monique and Chris broke up, Cookie went with her original friend and she took her friend's side. You, on the other hand, Stacy, you don't really know him or her like that. So why is you taking sides with a man over a woman? Like, what's your problem? And how is the child the problem? Because y'all seen the minute it was somebody that she couldn't villainize, all she could do was sit up there with that darn stroke face. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for being 110. Had a vision and a feeling that Stacy was the one who told Chris. I ain't had no vision, but I know I believed it from day one. She did that. Now, I will say this. When the story first came out that she repeated something, in all honesty, I felt like she might have repeated something innocently, and Chris took it and twisted it to make it be what he wanted it to be. But the fact that she keep lying and didn't just say, well, yeah, you know, he asked me because he knew she was going to be there and I mentioned whatever, but I didn't say all of that. That would have cleaned things up a lot better. But the fact that she kept lying, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. And you're never going to convince me that a child made up a story on you. You're not going to convince me of that. Not in a million years. Rochelle, congratulations on your 55-month royal anniversary, sis. Yeah, looking crazy as hell with that face drooping. I'm telling you, I ain't never seen nobody catch Bell's palsy at no reunion. I ain't never seen that. Now, at the Binder reunion, we saw Gizelle age 15 years on the stage. She did start aging like a bruised banana. But I ain't never seen nobody catch Bell's palsy on the stage other than Stacy. And after that, her mouth was darn near hushed. We ain't heard no more little slicktivity, repeating stuff she saw on social media, thinking she sounding cool. We ain't heard none of that. That baby, that recording of that baby talking, hushed her mouth. Her and that side saddle wig sitting on her head. So anyway, then Andy goes to Wendy and was like, I feel like you waiting on a confession from her. I feel like you waiting on her to confess. And so Wendy was like, no, I'm not waiting on a confession. I just feel like, you know, I see tides turning and everybody pointing their finger at her. And, you know, hearing that recording takes it to, you know, a different level. So she still didn't just say, well, girl, it's clear you did it. So she was still trying to soft pat Stacy and was like, you know, it do take it to a different level, because what the hell you gonna say? Who finna call a baby a lie for somebody who walks around in a plastic wig? I know I wouldn't. And so at that point, the only way for Wendy to get out of it was to say, well, Monique, what do you believe? You know what I'm saying? It's all on you anyway. Girl, what do you believe? And Monique was like, clearly I believe bleed the name or whatever. Which is, y'all are saying, and I'm assuming that it's one of her children. Sean Living Life says, Stacy the kind of lie that can be dangerous. You can't be around people like that at all, because she will lie on you. And if you catch her in it, she will stand in your face and be like, yeah, no, you really did say that you planted 3 bombs at Grand Central Station. You really said that. Like, I could see her doing that to somebody, because she's a sicko. That's what you call a sociopath. But you kind of almost have to be to walk around like that. But either way. So Monique was like, you know, clearly I believe B says the name. Stacy was like, well, let's call Chris. And Mo was like he gonna be accountable, which is facts. If y'all is in cahoots and he know you lying, of course he gonna get up there and say, yeah, you lying. Yeah, you don't. Oh, no, it didn't come from her. What would it cost him to get up there and say it didn't come from you? If you the one going back feeding him information, like you're scum. So then Jazzy had to throw her 2 cents in there and was like, if y'all sleeping together, why would he tell the truth? Or he would never tell the truth. And I'm like, Jazzy, wait a minute, Jazzy, you trying to tell us, you know, she hunching Chris? And I feel like I'm mighty afraid that might have gone over some people's heads, but it did not go over mine. Let me say it again. I'm mighty afraid that little shot from Jazzy went over some people's heads. But let me say one more time for the one time, it did not go over my head. It didn't go over mine. And never you forget, her and Stacy was, oh, we friends. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Do. Give me a high five. Until it was time for that wedding, and Stacy wasn't gonna go until she found out them people was filming. So for Jazzy to throw that in, like just like she outed Keiarna for taking Greg from his wife, Jazzy threw that shot in there, and I'm like, wait just a doggone minute. I know damn well y'all ain't finna slide past that. Like that heifer didn't just throw that out there, because I heard her. Yep, we're brothers. I said, what in the hell? What the hell is going on? Jazzy said, Chris and Stacy. She said, well, if y'all sleeping together, he'll never tell the truth. And I'm like, sleeping together, hunching? Who hunching? At this point, I need one of y'all to get me Jazzy's number. Me and her need to text. I need to inbox her. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get on Insta, see if I can holler at her, because Jazzy clearly got the tea on everybody. And her tea got a little something to it, because we saw Angel get bothered by tea, and she brought it to her off camera, and she showed her behind it and ended up on camera, and it was something to it. She brought out Keiarna tea, taking that balding pot-bellied geriatric squirrel from his wife, and we saw by the increase in the diameter of Keiarna's eyes, it was something to that. Yeah, and she said it current tense. If y'all sleeping together, I say, wait just a goddamn minute. Why Jazzy know everybody's business? That's the real question. The hell going on in the friendly skies? Adrian Marie saying Andy just went right past that, didn't even ask what you mean. He sure did, and I want to know. Well, reach out to her. Don't tell me you can do it. Because I want to know. Like me and her need to talk a little bit. Right, because they claim she recording phone calls. Stacy, let me find out that girl got a recording on you and you was over there popping coochie for a real. Wait, what Megan Thee Stallion say? Pop that bleep for your man. Pop that for your man. Yeah, that's what she said. Jazzy pretends to be their friend, baby. She is the Central Intelligence Agency because Miss Thing is gathering intelligence on everybody. Okay, I still want to talk to her. I ain't got nothing for her together. Now I got enough that'll write a hell of a book, but it ain't no secret. Yes, sir. So anyway, when she shot that out there and everybody slid past, I say, what the hell? Baby, it's given. If she ain't the godfather, she showed high up in the organization. Maybe she a capo, something going on. Jazzy got files on the girls. Monique had a binder. Jazzy got a flash drive. Listen, they need to be scared of her. So then they get into this whole thing about hosting or whatever. Now, this is when I thought Gizelle was going to get her package, but she didn't get no package. There wasn't no recap package on Gizelle just by who was hosting. They went to the trips. Okay, Gizelle trip, and the fact that none of Stacy's stuff was monogram or personalized, and Angel trip, you know, the horror in Colorado. And the viewer was like, Gizelle, you basically, do you regret how you did Stacy on the trip? She was like, no. Like, the only thing she regret was getting the wrong size robe because that wasn't intentional. What was intentional was leaving her name off everything because you lie about everything and we don't even really know who the hell you is. Okay? Which is real because they don't. We still don't know who she is. At this point, I'm like 1 second from saying, let's start a petition. Like, show us your real hairline one time. Just flash us one time. Just so we know it's real. Just so we know you's an actual person. Like, just slide it back. Let us see, slide it back. Let us see your real hairline for like 10 minutes. Not even 10 seconds. Just let us see it. Because we don't know who the hell you are. So, anyway, then the viewer was like, asking about the fact that Angel, why you had every time you had some type of activity, you got people sitting in silent circles. Angel was like, Lord, DS say Stacy is AI. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Tell her to holler at me. I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her. Because I know how to get to the bottom of things. I don't need nobody talking for me. I want to talk to her. So Angel was like, well, I can see that, that all that stuff is not for this group, girl. That's not for any group. That's some phony, pretentious, social media bull crap. So then Andy was like, y'all get along real good when y'all be talking about hunching and stuff. Y'all did good with the singing. Y'all did good with that. And he was like, who's the Beyonce of the group? Everybody putting their hand up and stuff. AI do be lying. Ooh, AI do be lying. And I think she will too, Adrienne Marie. And I really do need to talk to her. I really do. Ashley tried to put her hand up as the Beyonce. Stacy was like, girl, put your hand down. Now, I don't know who was on the other side of that room talking about Roberta Flack is rolling in her grave right now. You ain't lying. Because Ashley do drunk karaoke stone cold sober. And I don't even know how that's possible, to be honest with you. So then Andy asked about the Colorado trip and Angel and all that. She admitted the 2 houses was a bad idea. And, that's not how girls trips on this show works. And girl, don't know girl trip work like that. Like what you did was ridiculous, right? So then Andy was like, does anybody think Gizelle overstepped by taking over the trip when they ain't had no water? Nobody felt that way. And then here come Keiarna. Well, I do. I think you overstepped. So Gizelle was like, Andy, you should have asked, do anybody who didn't have running water think I overstepped? And Gizelle had a point. I'm sorry. I was like, Lord, yeah, y'all done made me agree with Gizelle almost the entire season. And I don't know how I feel about that. But she wasn't wrong. Keiarna, how the hell are you going to say you felt like she overstepped when you was over there with running water, warm water, wasn't no heat blowing in your face, swelling up your face. You could actually use the toilet and flush it, and you talking about you think she went too far. Why are you comfortable? Listen, Gizelle has really grown. I don't know. I think it's something about her children growing up and then losing her daddy that has made Gizelle finally, in her twilight years, grow up. Now, why it took her to her twilight years to grow up, the world may never know. But I think losing Pappy Graves, Lord rest his soul, and them girls growing up and leaving her in the empty nest, It made Gizelle grow up, because Gizelle was supposed to tell Keiarna out the frame, and she didn't. And so she was like, but other stuff has happened. I've been on other trips with y'all. Like, girl, you just getting here. Keiarna's getting on my nerves because she talking like she old school or something, and you barely hit by the skin of your teeth. It's almost like Keiarna doesn't realize, honey, you have a flute because the Geico caveman hit you in the face with a glass, and Bravo didn't want to get sued. That's why you're here. You were a friend of Candace. Candace is gone. The only person you could tether yourself to was Wendy, and you attacked her for Karen. I'm gonna go on the record and say that that's what I believe is what exactly happened. Not Hee Eliel done been sent to the corner, and then as if that's not enough, now you talking about in the DR, you had to change your room in the middle of the night. One person having to change their room in the middle of the night is not equal to or congruent to your entire cast being stuck in a house where they got to squat and wash up over bowls and buckets and tubs with water bottles, and they can't flush the toilet when they piss. That is not that. That's horrible. Yes, Sean, the Geico caveman. You know that girl looked like the Geico caveman. David Allen Greer and George Foreman had a love child. Now that's what the hell she looked like, and I'm gonna stand on it. We talking about Ashley Darby's ugly friend, Deborah. Okay. So anyway, they got past that. And so Gizelle and Angel had a little back and forth, a little tete-a-tete, because she was like, girl, you didn't even check to see what was what. Oh, I thought it was more important to try to get y'all a place. And, I'm sorry this happened. So Gizelle was like, look, you saying I'm sorry now, but that ain't what we got then. We got nothing from you then. Then Angel laughed. I say, look at you, Angel. Girl, if you don't pick a struggle, don't take up line. Don't take up line. Don't do that. Don't do that. So she gonna say, and I don't know if y'all caught this, but I did. That's why the notebook is here, because I don't lose. Look at the page is full. The page is full. I don't miss nothing. Okay. So Angel then says, well, the only reason I knew what was going on is because I called Jazzy to check on y'all. But during the season, that hooker said Jazzy called her. She said Jazzy called her. Now she get on the reunion. Oh, I called Jazzy to check on y'all. You a goddamn lie. Jazzy called you to report that Monique said she was concerned about you because she saw you doing too much and she didn't want you to be depleted because she done had 12 therapy sessions. Now she thinks she a therapist. Okay? Now at the reunion, you call Jazzy to check on them. Usually you call Jazzy lie. That's what you are. Then Andy asked her about getting lost, and somebody was there, had dropped a pen, and they took me to the wrong site or whatever. And I'm like, girl, the cameraman got there, the cook got there, you couldn't get there, and you left them girls side the road drinking gas station margarita. Shout out to every gas station that sell a margarita though, because that's lit. That was lit. Let's see. That's okay. I see you guys. Y'all putting everybody in jail. Okay, got it. Cynthia Christian say that was not nice. Angel was wrong. She was dead wrong. So they were talking about them being lost and them being beside the road at the gas station, and Angel up there getting defensive, attitude all over the place, just bubbling all out, leaking all out, just like she was leaking all out that dress, talking about, well, I don't deserve the flack. I took responsibility. And in hindsight and looking back, I can see, like, girl, shut up. I don't deserve the flack. I took responsibility. The girl, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. So then after that, y'all, Karen arrives, right? Karen is coming. We get the shots of Karen getting out of the car. Karen on the way in. Karen is, in all of her glory, right? In all of her splendor. All of her splendor. And then, there's a little talking and whatever before she come out. And they talking about the whole interview of it all, and Gizelle was like, yeah, you didn't go too easy on her, and basically saying that she used to be very concerned about Karen being out there, whatever, and everything that was happening. Yeah, she was leaking. And that maybe, what happened to her was what she needed. And I honestly, I don't think that she meant it no way, other than that it was probably a wake-up call for Karen, because that's the way I took it. That's the way I feel. I feel like Karen needed a wake-up call, because she was going to keep right on until she lost her life. And then her children was going to have to suffer through everything that she suffered through and worse. Because at least when Karen lost her parents, it was old age. It was like the natural course of life. It was, thing that's inevitable that none of us look forward to, but it was the acceptable time for these type of things. If she lose her life because of substance abuse and alcohol, her children got to deal with, we could have had mama longer, but mama didn't take care of herself. Mama was so irresponsible that she took herself away from us before we were ready to lose her. And that opens a whole different ball of wax. And so I'm not glad she went to jail, but I'm glad that something happened to shake the piss out of Karen, because come on. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in your 60s talking about how bad you were hurt and torn up and self-medicating because you lost your parents, and then run the risk of doing that and worse to your children, for them to have to deal with that you took yourself out the mix, and they need you. So, I love Karen to pieces, but I don't have no love for that behavior. As a mother, we come dead last. Sorry, we come dead last. Your children needing you always comes first in my book. So anyway, so Karen came on out. Andy was like, oh, the Grand Dame is back. I heard that you never that you was gonna get rid of that title or whatever. And they showed some flashbacks. Yeah, I don't believe she's gonna go back. Even say a little duck time out ain't bad. She needed that jail time because we love some Karen. Yeah, and we want her to keep breathing. We can't enjoy you posthumously. We can look at old stuff, and then there's always going to be, the sadness involved, because why did you do that, right? So Karen let them know, like, hey, she tried to shed the title, and the people ain't letting her shed the title, so she gonna give the people what they want. And I said right then, Andy, you're not ready for this version of Karen. Karen is sober. Andy, are you ready? Andy, are you ready? See them little slick comments that Andy used to slip in there that was really shots that Karen seemed not to catch, and it was always playful, joke, haha. The fact that she, slid it right back to him, like, yeah, I said I was gonna drop it, but the people love it, so we're gonna give the people what they want. When she slid it like that, and it was like, it wasn't no playfulness in her voice, it was like dead serious. She wasn't I'm like, oh, ooh. This is a different Karen. I like this Karen, but this is a whole different Karen, honey. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm like, Andy, are you sure you're ready? I mean, I know you think you're ready, but are you sure you're ready? So anyway, then he asked her, asking everybody how y'all feel about Karen being back. Everybody's like, oh, we glad to see you back. La, 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 la. Gave her time to talk about watching the season, the episodes and everything. And she was like, oh, y'all did great. And he's like, are you just meeting some of the people? She's like, no, I had a chance to even meet some of the newbies, and told Angel, like, you did good. She was like, some of the times I wish I could have called you where you could have told to tell Gizelle, girl, F off. And Gizelle would have been like, okay, next. And Gizelle was like, yep. Mm-hmm. And legit, that's all that would have happened. But Angel just couldn't roll with the punches. And I thought during the season a few times Karen probably would have helped her to navigate things better, so she wouldn't have been so insufferable and gotten to the point where everybody is just sick of Angel. I think Angel could have benefited from Karen being there, but it is what it is. Karen took herself out the mix, but glad she back in. So she kind of gave Angel a little encouragement. She said that Gizelle did a lot of things to make her smile without even talking to her. Say she left notes in her mailbox and she got all of them, and everything like that. Then Andy asked Karen about the Stacy of it all. Barbara D. Hart, how you doing? Say Karen is so stank. She thinks she's the smartest one in the room. Does she? I would think Wendy thinks she's the smartest one in the room. But okay. But anyhow, so Andy asked Karen about, the Stacy of it all and where y'all at now, whatever. And so she was like, she cool with moving forward or whatever like that. She was like, but did you lie again this season? And so Stacy sat there playing stupid. Lied about what? Girl, what didn't you lie about? So Karen was still, you could tell this is a different Karen. She was not playful. There were no jokes. It was just, well, you lied about the little boyfriend you had. There wasn't no boyfriend. And this season, did you lie about dating Chris? Did you lie about it? And she was like, well, no. She was like, okay, I'm just saying, you got to stop the lying because I know. And so it's the fact that Karen was like, I know. And I'm like, Karen, what you know? And I thought about that too. I said, so the recording of Monique's kid, knowing that Stacy is involved with the telling the daddy that she was filming with them and all like that is one thing. But then two, for Karen to come out and be like, and Stacy, I know. And Stacy didn't say nothing back. Stacy got a clap back, which it don't even be clapbacks. It be really corny and white bread as hell. But Stacy ain't had nothing for that. When the grand dame said, and I know, mum's the word, I say, wait a minute. The Godfather is back. God darn it. I knew Karen was the Godfather. Said she friends with Cookie, so of course Cookie know and told Karen. Yep, anything Cookie know, Karen know. And the thing is, remember, Karen was good and friendly with Stacy. She the one brought her into the whole mix or whatever. Remember, she met Karen through Vivian. So ain't no telling what all Karen got on Stacy. But whatever she said when she was like, I know, Stacy ain't said another nothing. I say this hooker up here, quiet as a prostitute at a revival meeting. What the hell going on? I say, yeah, we got Karen back in the mix. Now we got us a show. So look, listen, I want to know what Karen know, and I darn sure want to know what the hell Jazzy know. And she up here talking about, if you sleeping with him, why would he tell the truth? I say, wait a minute. It's too much. So look, after that, she was like, look, so Stacy talking about, well, I mean, I guess you see where we are now, like trying to play victim, like, oh, Karen just throwing her away. Karen say, look, I'm all for moving forward and new beginnings. She say, but I can't take the lies. We're not gonna have no lies. I say, ooh, let me find out that Stacy was just buck wild and free balling with these lies because Karen wasn't there. I want to see what happened. Because Karen telling her, I know. And she wasn't prepared. She ain't had no pre-recorded, pre-prepared, pre-rehearsed, little snappy comeback for that. What's going to happen if she's sitting there and she know what Karen know via Cookie and via Vivian? What the hell finna go on? He say all Stacy do is lie and hunch big men. Why would she go after Chris when she trying to keep Timu? I don't know. Stacy had the yes godmother look on her face. Baby, listen, Karen was needed. I'm so glad Karen is back. Go ahead, Sarah County. Even say, man, Gizelle gonna be happy to team up with Karen on Stacy next season. Finna be good. And is. Hey, always. Say Karen came to put it down. She sure did. And did too. On the table, real heavy. And so then after that, after that, then he went to asking her about you weren't comfortable calling yourself an alcoholic. She said, no, and I'm still not. She said, I'm somebody who is in recovery for life. I'm going to be in recovery for the rest of my life. Like I'm always gonna be somebody with an addiction or whatever like that. And so he was like, well, isn't getting better part about like what he said, facing it or embracing it or saying it or whatever? And she was like, yeah, it's also about, she said for her, it's about personal choice. And she said, I'm taking control of my situation and I choose to say I am someone who is in recovery for the rest of my life. And my thing is, regardless of the wording, as long as she is addressing it and addressing the fact that she has a problem that she's gonna have to address forever, and she's never gonna be cured, so she don't need to relax. And that's a good point. Hey, Miss Nisi, thank you for being 117. So I'm really okay with that. But and even in that moment, like Andy was not ready. Karen is like, I am in control. I am not in denial. I have a problem and I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. And you don't get to take control and tell me what the hell to call it, because I'm the one living with it. I say, wait a minute. I don't know if y'all ready for sober Karen. Y'all ain't ready for sober Karen. Even say people want to humble Karen. They do. They do. You know what? The people who want to humble, attractive, accomplished Black women, they all have a look to them. That's all I'm gonna say. They got a look. They have a look. They have a look. I ain't gonna go into what look it is, but they all have a look. Yeah, Andy wanted to hear defeated Karen. He did. Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like it either. But I noticed it's a certain sort of person. They have a look. They have a look. Okay. So then, so he was like, you know, some of the people at the BravoCon, everybody was so happy, but some people was like that they don't feel like you should be on the platform. What do you think? What do you think? Like you asked her that during that interview. And like she said, people have their opinions and she has a right to thrive. Good point. Gizelle jumped in, defended her. And I'm like, bet I can dig that. I'm like, let me find out. Gizelle has learned how to be positive in her twilight years. Gizelle waited until the coffin has already been purchased and the people have started to varnish it to learn how to be positive. How did this happen? I'm telling you, boy, time bring about a change. So, and then Monique got all emotional and went to crying and, oh, now you say, and I'm like, okay, Monique, Lord, pretty girl. I can't say beautiful gowns because I don't know what the hell Monique had on, but pretty girl. She just, oh, sweet little crazy thing. But, you know, I felt her emotion in that moment, and she just, you know, she's so concerned and she just cares so much for Karen. And I knew I didn't want to say nothing because I knew I was going to cry. Then why did you say something if you knew you was going to cry? But whatever. And talks about, you know, the fact that Karen is being vulnerable with them and that's not something Karen normally does. Andy asked about the being in denial of it all and the fact that Karen admitted during her interview with him after she got out of jail that I was in denial. Like I was really in denial. And so he asked Ashley, like, did that resonate with you? And she was like, yeah, it did. And it doesn't need to resonate. At least she can admit that she was in denial. And to me, what's hilarious is that's people's biggest beef with Karen. Oh, she deflects, she's in denial. She deflects, she's in denial. Now she's out and she's facing it head on and giving us more than we thought, because to be honest, everybody thought, oh, she was just drinking. Karen came out swinging both hands. Look, I was not just drinking. I was drinking and I was popping pills and mixing pills with the drink. Pop the Molly, I'm sweating. Woo! So the fact that this lady is like copping to everything. She copped to what you knew, which was the alcohol. She copped to what you didn't know, which was telling you she was mixing the prescription drugs with the alcohol and at varying degrees on her own, increasing dosages on her own. Like Karen copped to everything. And you still got people like, she's still not being accountable. Yes, she is. What it is people who have a certain look are upset because they don't want to see you win. And they don't want to see her win, not because she had a drug and alcohol problem. They don't want to see her win because she represents everything that they decided to never dream to be again. And Cat Williams said it best. When people who forget how to dream or give up on dreaming, they hate people who dream. And it's the same thing for people who either felt like I'm never going to be fabulous, or they gave up on hoping to be fabulous, and they see somebody who feels like that they feel like is fabulous, or that they feel like this person is confident in themselves and they feel fabulous. And I need you brought down. I need you to crash and burn. I need something to validate that it was good for me to give up that hope, because if I had ever become fabulous, this would have happened to me. And when you don't see those people crash and burn, you lose your nut. Calm your tits, hun. Those people do not have to crash and burn because you gave up on you. Okay, that's why I say they all have a look. There's a look. There's a look. Adrian Marie said, I wonder if Andy and the producers was looking to see if the ladies would go in on Karen and Wendy. I don't know, girl. I don't know. I can't call it. But the ladies was on cold, honey. It was definitely giving one band, one sound tonight. It was definitely giving that tonight. And I actually appreciated that amongst those, you know, melanated women. So anyway, Karen owned being in denial. She owned the fact that, and actually was actually correct about the Legal Seafood story that she told about somebody at Legal Seafood saying that she used to come in and day drink. And she was like, yeah, I absolutely did. I absolutely did. Ray done had to come pick me up from that place a bunch of times. And she still don't believe Wendy's story, and I don't either. I don't either. When Wendy is telling the truth, she got a certain way she talked, and that just didn't sound like it. Wendy didn't sound like she believed that story. When Karen was like, yeah, I still don't know what the hell Wendy talking about. I don't believe nobody went to you to talk about me. I don't believe that. And I don't believe it either. I think she was chiming in because at that time her feelings was hurt because Karen thanked everybody but her. And she still was salty or whatever, right? So then Andy went to the fact that Wendy was upset because Karen didn't thank her when she was thanking everybody else. Wendy was like, basically, she did feel a sting. She would be lying to say if she didn't, to say she didn't. Karen was like, girl, let's deal in reality. In other words, the Grand Dame said, if we gonna be anything, let's be for real. We got distant before that because I felt betrayed by you. So basically, Karen said, girl, we got distant the minute Stacy could come tell you I said something I didn't and you took her side. And I'm like, well, then boom. Well, then boom. And to me, I feel like the way this season has developed, the way the situation, even with Monique's kid having to say that, like, girl, your Miss Stacy's name is the name that was being heard when everything was being heard. I think Wendy should feel like the world's biggest donkey, but you still not woman enough to say, yeah, girl, I did listen to her. And now I'm finding out that this girl can't tell the truth about nothing, including her name, weight, hair color, thumbprints, nothing. So imagine you cool with somebody, but then this person can tell a lie on your friend that you cool with, or that you claim is your friend that you cool with. But then you find out this person is a huge liar. Instead of you saying, you know what, I ain't had no business listening to her because I really didn't know her like that, but I believed her and I got out of pocket because I believe what she said. Instead of her doing that, what Wendy do? Sit her tail up there on the stage talking about, but you call my mama a witch. Only for production to play the footage. And Karen ain't call your mama no witch. She said when everybody was attacking your mama and calling her that. Me referencing people attacking you is not me attacking you. Me referencing people calling people names is not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And Wendy knew that. Wendy flat out lied on that lady and to her face. I'm like, girl, you hang around Stacy till you practicing lying too. And still tried to run with it. And once again, sober Karen didn't miss a beat. Sober Karen said, the fact that you think that I enjoyed using that word in that conversation over trying to use it that way is disgusting. I say, woo, Wendy. You show you ready for sober Karen, honey. Barbara said I feel you by Karen, but she reminds me of a person that used to smoke. Now they no longer smoke and act as though they the stuff. Yeah, but you can't put that on somebody else. If she remind you of another person that you got them thoughts about, you have to put the thoughts where they belong. I can't say you remind me of Miss Novella from church, so I don't like you. Because you a cute lady. I like your haircut. I want mine cut something like that when it go white. You know, I got my haircut picked out. But I can't say, well, you remind me of Miss Novella, so I'm going to treat you like Novella. You ain't Novella Haynes. And no shout out to her, because she lied on us when we was cheering. But I wouldn't just assume that you was that because you remind me of that lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. We got to deal with people on a case by case. Straight up. You know what I mean? You just got to be real. But I do like your haircut like that. And I do have mine planned out. I wanted to go like a little bit closer on the sides. And then I want to do like the pixie in the front, like in the top, like more full in the top, and then close in the back. But you know, when you keep it natural, you can either like curl it and like do the pixie cut, or you can kind of like wash and go and kind of do it, you know, kind of more like yours is. Well, I'll talk about the hair later. But I love the whole hair of it all. So shout out to you. But anywho, Just straight up lied on that lady. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like that just, mm-mm. And baby, that's when Karen was like, girl, I would have never said nothing like that about your mama because I love your mama. And I particularly love this season when she told you to shut the F up. I said, yep, me too. Me too. The only thing that I really wanted for that moment was for Miss Susan to take off her shoe and go to work on Wendy's head, because I still say I said at that moment, and I will say again, how dare you disrespect your mama for a man that didn't care if you ate, lived, or died for 20 years. Who sat on that phone with you in a 10-minute phone call and called your hurt feelings spilled milk. And you disrespected your mama for him. Miss Susan should have went to work. Miss Susan should have went to work right upside Wendy's head. That's what she should have done. Right upside her head. Because it don't make no sense what she done. And at that point, Gizelle was gagged. She was like, oh, Karen. Oh, Karen, nothing. She said what she said, and I'm with her. How dare you disrespect your mama? And then Andy was like, well, I don't think we gonna solve it. That was a little tough because that was a rough moment. Child. Rough moment, my foot. You sitting up here lying on somebody to their face, claiming she called her mama a witch and stuff, and you think Karen finna play with her? No, I'm on Miss Susan's side too. I think that was the perfect thing for Karen to say. You go accuse me of calling this lady a witch? No, I like her so much. I agree with everything she said, including telling you to shut the hell up. Your fake phone itself. So then we get to the Wendy package, child. So we get the whole montage of the Wendy recap. We got the happy Eddie going to Jersey, the renovation, the no good Pappy on the video phone, and the situation with mama. And the arrest 3 months later. That was all in the little recap montage, right? So then you get the little blurbs from everybody, kind of seeing what everybody had to say. Tia was like, you know, Nigerians are already stigmatized. Yeah, girl, and you know why? And you know why? I ain't gonna engage in it, but girl, you know why? You know what I'm saying? It's not all I'm gonna say is not unwarranted. It's not unwarranted. Okay. Angel was like, oh, see, that was a red herring. She was projecting on me because of what she doing. I hope justice is served. Angel, you and your dress and your oil spillage. Ma'am, shut the hell up. Because Wendy ain't accused you of no criminal activity at all. She didn't accuse you of any of those things. You harassed Wendy. Wendy popped back at you. She didn't care about your feelings because you kept harassing her. You even lied and claimed the woman called you a catfish when it was Gizelle, and continued to do so even after the rest of the cast told you that she didn't say it. You just wanted to say something nasty about her because she didn't let you play with her. And why the hell would she? Like, who exactly would you be? Who would you be? But anyway, and Ashley told her, like, girl, that's a reach. And it's so funny. You could tell Angel in that moment didn't see that coming, because it's like, okay, Angel done said, you know, Ashley done said a little slick, nasty stuff about Wendy. You could tell she did not expect Ashley, of all people, to be like, girl, that's a whole reach. Ain't nobody did nothing to you. I was like, yup. Even say, now Wendy get convicted, we're going to see if she have the same accountability as Karen. Yes, we're going to see. Well, she done already embarrassed her all season. She gave all the energy she needed. And then Andy asked Wendy, like, what you think about people's opinion? She was like, you know, I done been through all this crap over the last few months. Like, it's been hellish. You know, people's opinions really don't matter. If that's their opinion, let them have it. Keiarna was like, well, I felt like this was something she already knew about, and that's why she was doing this, that, and the third. And it was like, what? And wasn't nobody going for that either. Gizelle was like, I don't feel like Wendy knew about this at all. I say, boy, y'all wasn't ready. Keiarna and Angel overshot. They sat here, they flopped part 3 of the reunion too, because she jumped out there. Ain't no way Wendy knew about that. Wendy was way too cocky. She was way too comfortable. She had no way of knowing. That was going to spin the block like it did. Okay. And so Gizelle, now, you know what? I hate to say this because it tastes like vinegar in my mouth. Let me drink some water before I say this. I can't believe what I'm about to say. Gizelle almost made me like her with the next statement. Gizelle's next statement, she was trying to build a defense for Wendy on camera. She was trying to build the defense for Wendy on camera, which made production roll footage from before Wendy knew she was in trouble, back before when they was filming, when she was like, I don't even know when the bills is due. And Eddie pay everything. Eddie take care of all the stuff with the money. I was like, I'm sitting there like, mind blown. Gizelle Bryant just tried to give Wendy a defense strategy on camera with backup from production that nobody would need a subpoena for or a court order because it just aired on national TV. I say, God darn Gizelle. Y'all, she about to make me think that she's a decent heifer every now and then when she want to be. I didn't even want to say that out loud. That's when she want to be. Even say Gizelle has made it clear she don't want to see people in jail. Yes, God, but I didn't. I was like, Gizelle, did you? You thought, I was like, wait a minute, that can't be Gizelle. Sure did. Sure did. Good God Almighty. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there like, she really just gave Wendy an assist? Ooh. He else there right, and I hope Wendy's lawyers is watching. Eddie need to take that time for his woman. And that's what I'm talking about. Do the time for me. If you love me, take my charge. He would say it wouldn't work because the emails between Wendy and Eddie discussing it, Gizelle definitely tried. The problem is what's in the email is not them discussing a lie. It was him saying, give me some more stuff that I can put on there. She could easily have plausible deniability, but Gizelle darn sure tried. I'm just being honest with y'all. I have not, up until this point, 10 seasons in, can we be honest and say we've never seen this version of Gizelle? Can I get a 7 in the chat if that's an honest, fair assessment? Let me put my 7 in. I have never witnessed this version of Gizelle. I ain't never seen it. Yeah, she said she liked Wendy, and I'm like, when all this started happening? The hell is going on? What the hell is going on? I'm like, is this Bizarro world? Is this like in the Stranger Things with the upside down place or something? Like, what is this? Blew my mind. Keiarna and Angel sitting over there looking stupid, looking like what they are, Tweedledum and Tweedledumber. Everybody else is on one band, one sound, and y'all the only two idiots sitting over here on Dumbarella Island. When Gizelle and Ashley Darby is on board with everybody else, and you the only two over here, oh, y'all are definitely on an island by yourself. Definitely on an island by yourself. It was never more evident than that moment. Angel got caught in her mess. They like, what did you mean by you hope justice is gonna be served? Like nobody was with it. Kay's like, I think she already knew, and that's why we was having problems. No, you tried to do some dirty work for Karen, and then when it all came down to it, even Karen is like, yeah, we don't want Wendy in jail. And you still trying to go with it, and you can't even read the room that Karen is not on the jail time. She just wanted you to give her a hard time on the camera. Karen ain't with the jail stuff. Boy, Tweedledum and Tweedledumber, listen, y'all are special. Very special, okay? So then Wendy went to running her mouth, and at this point, it made me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. Yeah. Even Karen looked at Angel sideways with that. Like, it was a weird thing to say. But she up here giving a timeline, trying to explain that she did not know anything, that the breaking and entering happened before they started filming season 9. And the police didn't come to her door until October 2025. That's all she had to say. I don't know why she went explaining about the baby seeing stuff upstairs and thought it was the dog. And like, yo, quit talking. Say that for the stand if they let you take the stand, right? And basically saying she didn't know nothing was amiss till the police swung back round to her door and told her it wasn't no break-in, right? Yvette say the way Andy asked Angel, what did you mean? Thank you. I'm telling you, that was strike 2 that let me know Andy ain't digging her. Andy's not digging her at all. Adrian Marie, thank you for the super chat, girl. Kay and Angel was too busy trying to redeem themselves for a bad season. Right. Too stupid to read the room. Like, get in that moment. They trying to get back for all the times they were not witty enough during the season. You couldn't even read what was up. Wendy talked way too much. I was like, yo, shut up. Very special. Like Kay Michelle said, very special. So then Karen was like, look, I just want you, don't answer nothing else on this stage. Don't answer nothing else about this. She's like, you know, you talking too much. She's like, if I was you, I wouldn't even came here. And Karen proved it because Karen did not. Karen put herself in rehab so she would not be on that stage tempted to say a goddamn thing. She was like, I don't want you to say anything. You are talking too much. She's like, I don't want you to go to jail. I'm begging you. Karen took a page out of my book because I'm that way. If I care about you at all, I don't care if I'm mad at you at the moment. If I care about you at all and you about to hurt yourself, I'm not too prideful. I will beg. I beg you. My pride ain't gonna never be so big that I won't beg you. Karen was like, I'm begging you. Stop talking. Wendy said, girl, shut up. There's somebody who just went to the clink telling you, please don't talk so you don't go to the clink. Please, Miss Sealy, don't trade places with what I've been through. Okay? Yvette said, I think Wendy said it all on purpose to have plausible deniability as Gizelle did. Maybe it's the plan for Eddie to take the fall. I don't know, but they tried to sever their cases and it didn't sever, so we don't know. Sean Living Life say Wendy talking about the break-in was very uncomfortable. It didn't make sense. It did not, and I wanted her to hush. DS said Angel face during the entire reunion was lost and aloof. Yes, just like them clothes. Just like them clothes. Gossip News said I threw my phone twice at Kay and Angel when they started speaking. Mess around and tap your phone if you want to. Okay, Yvette said Angel and Kay are really madness and sadness. It's sad. It is. It really is. Two pretty ladies with nothing in their nothing between their ears. Wendy's a big fool. Big fool. Karen begging her to be quiet. She's like, yeah, I already talked to legal counsel. They told me what I can and can't say or whatever. The easiest thing to say is nothing. I can't talk about that. How many reunions have y'all sat there and seen people with legal stuff that wasn't even criminal? It was like, nah, it's an open case. I ain't talking. They did it when it came to Montgomery Burns, to Golem, Smeagol, suing Candace Dillard Bassett. That's an open case. I ain't talking. Robert said her big manly looking behind up there looking like goddamn Paul Bunyan, talking about why you won't want to talk about the case. And then got mad because Candace was like, girl, you shouldn't have been talking about your husband case and he might have still had a job. It is what it is. Everybody know to be quiet. Say less. Mum's the word. Gossip News said, Auntie, I got a phone case to make it unbreakable. Well, that's a good thing because don't be tearing up no stuff. At least not their own stuff. He said Wendy had no business talking about the break-in. That's really the one that's going to get them. It may not get them, but it ain't doing no favors. Your lawyers are trash if they told you could say anything. Hello. Why would you say anything? Why? I don't know. So anyway, then Karen was like, look, after she told her she wouldn't even be here, and they're going to ask about the mama and the sister. Like, we saw y'all had y'all ended rough during the season. How y'all doing now? Wendy was like, they rallied around me. They was the first people there. Of course they were. But you was willing to disrespect your mama for the man that called you spilled milk. I'm going to say it again. Wendy, you got in trouble after you disrespected your mama. You might have got away with it. And I'm going to say this, and I'm comfortable saying it. And I'm going to just put it on out there. Honor thy mother and father, that thy days may be long upon the earth which the Lord thy God has given thee. When you sit up there and disrespect your mama, talking out the side of your neck, oh, you looking for a moment? Oh, you looking for him? I mean, just real disrespectful to your mama. For a man that didn't care if you lived or died. He didn't care if you had a crust of bread. He abandoned you, your brother and your sister, to your mama by herself. That woman, according to you and her, had to work 4 jobs. Got all 3 of y'all successful, turned y'all into somebody by the grace of God. And you disrespected that woman for a 10-minute phone call with a nigga that called you spill milk. And when did you brought this on yourself? And the reason I say that, and I already know we got all these extra special people in the chat and on social media who ain't never done nothing wrong. Well, for the rest of us, a lot of us have done plenty of wrong. And you know what else? The wrong ain't never touched you. I'm going to test it out. Put a 3 in the chat if you know you done some wrong stuff, but you never got in trouble. You never got caught. The police never knocked at your door. You done pulled some stunts and you don't even know how you got away with it. Put a 3 in the chat if you done been there. I'm going to put a 3. I need to put a few 3s. I've done a whole lot of stuff in my day. Whole lot. Pure terror I was. Pure terror. And you know what? Most of my dirt did not follow me home. It didn't follow me home. It didn't. And you know what else? A whole lot of people, probably some of the same people that told her and Eddie, y'all could do that, ain't nothing gonna happen. They probably did it, ain't nothing happened to them. But that's when you getting by on mama them prayers. Okay? That's when you getting by on your mama prayers. That's when you getting by on big mama and auntie them prayers. But when you go out there and you start disrespecting your covering, you disrespecting the people that pray for you, the people that's interceding for you, the people that wring their hands and walk the floor at night when stuff don't go right for you. That's how that mess came back and got her. And I'm going to stand on that. You film this season done with filming, and here they come, to swung back around, and she talking about the police say, you remember me? I'm the one that was around here when y'all had reported the robbery. That mess probably didn't never have to come back to her like it did. But then even after all of that, because mothers are mothers, jump high, jump low. When you got your funky behind in trouble, according to you, the first ones there was mama and sister. The first ones there is mama and sister. Look at Sean living life, still trying to cover it up, talking about 3, but I don't know what you're talking about. I bet you don't, nephew. I bet you don't. When people sit around and like, oh, they got caught this and oh, they did that. It is. They hadn't done that and this wouldn't happen. How much stuff you done and you ain't got caught at? I'll wait. Folk like to get on social media, get holier than thou and pretend like their mouth is a prayer book. And they ain't done nothing wrong their whole lives. No, I ain't been to prison because I ain't did nothing wrong. You done did a whole lot wrong. You just had grace and mercy. And somebody was praying for your fool tail when you was too stupid to pray for yourself. But I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. She did all that, and mama was still the first one on the scene. Shout out to Miss Susan and all the other mamas that keep it real. And all the other mamas that keep it real, even when they being disrespected. Now, what I did like to hear was that Eddie family done rallied around them too or whatever. And, you know, there's something serious going on. It's something serious going on. So, you know, they know to get past the petty stuff right now. Family, blood thicker than mud. Even say, worst thing I ever did was be riding sorry for a couple years. I'm going to talk about Wendy. That's right. Well, you go on and talk about her. The rest of us that's done lived some life. I ain't finna do all that, but I'm going to call it like it is. You done got yourself in trouble. Hey, Chloglo. Chloglo say 333 times 200. Okay, Cynthia Christian say, did Wendy have some of the stuff she had reported stolen? That's what the people claim, but we don't know, Cynthia. We will not know until it plays out, because at the end of the day, these are the same people that told the media that she had credit cards and other people's name, and it wasn't true. So we don't know until it play out. And then once we get the court papers, shout out to 50 Cent, you know, court papers, the stuff he running from. Then we could see what was actually facts and what was not facts. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I love Miss Susan. Love Miss Susan. I love any mama that bend their back and break their back to do their job. Because being a mother is a thankless job. Sometimes they appreciate it, sometimes they don't, but you do it anyway because you got to answer to God for how you raised them children. And that lady did a hell of a job. And she absolutely did not deserve to be disrespected by Wendy. She absolutely did not deserve to be disrespected by her. So yeah, they was there for him or whatever. And they asked about all the narratives that's out, and she was like, let them have their narratives. That's good. He asked about the aliases and stuff, and she was like, well, my lawyer already cleared that up, which they did, and that was in the paper. It went back to the news. The lawyers released, the evidence and an official statement. The aliases were only for receiving packages and deliveries. It ain't had a goddamn thing to do with no credit cards and none of that. But they mixed it all in there to present a certain narrative, and I feel like it was clearly to taint a jury pool. If you want to go to jury trial, they're gonna make sure that the jury is already tainted against you. A viewer asked how it impacted the marriage. I thought that was a stupid question. You facing jail time, how you think it impacted the marriage? I mean, hello, good night, right? I don't know anything, because I don't know that the ring she had on is the ring they talking about. We just saw a picture of her with a ring, and we got them saying that she reported the ring stolen. I don't know if that was the ring on her report or not. We just know we saw a ring on her hand. I'm not trying no cases on here when I don't know nothing. Not especially when we done caught them people lying one time. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Basically, she said, let's see how it played out. Some of the accusations already been cleared up in court. But she's not leaking anything, so we don't know what got cleared up in court, what didn't. We'll see what happened. She got emotional. She up here thanking Andy. Now, I'm going to talk about this because this pissed me off. We're getting closer to the end. I'm going to put the StreamYard out in case somebody got an opinion. But this is one of the things that Wendy does that pisses me off. Now, Karen trying to save your neck. Andy Cohen trying to get you to implicate yourself. And it was obvious that Andy was trying to get her to implicate herself. She up here, oh, I just love you so much, and you've been so good to me, and blase squaze, and she and when you hug me, you just hugged every part of me, and I just appreciate you so much. He trying to put you in jail, and she up here getting emotional, acting like she finna cry and all that. I'm like, I'm so sick of you. I can't stand you at this point. Karen is sober. Even she see through Andy. And instead of questioning you, Karen over there shaking her head, darn near begging you like, yo, quit talking. You still talking. And you up here thanking him, and he trying to send you to the jailhouse. Huh. Too much. We did find out that she said that Monique had been like really there for her. The other ladies had been there for her, and said Monique had been a real champion for her and her children. The ladies had reached out, and they had really been there for her and really kind. Even old Bunyan Foot Ashley, you know what I'm saying? Ashley gave a real apology. She accepted it. And then Andy, at the very end, I'm about to bring gossip news up, but at the very end, Andy let it be known once again, he don't like Angel. They passed out the little champagne, the little champagne, and said, we finna take a selfie, and it's gonna be heavily filtered. Now, Angel been sitting up here crying the whole time. Stop talking about catfish. You could talk about so other than catfish. I'm tired of catfish. And on the way out the door, Andy still kicked her in her gut. We gonna take a selfie, and it's gonna be heavily filtered. And the look on her face was like somebody had rubbed pepper in it. Gossip news. What you got for it? Andy done let us know he don't like Angel. He's sick of Angel too. He's not the only one sick of Angel.
Look, Angel ain't coming back. He's not coming back. I don't think. Look, they might give Karen Angel spot. She can take Keiarna with her because
Karen got her own spot. Can't nobody take Karen's spot.
I mean, okay, true.
Yeah. Her spot.
Look, I think at this time, I don't like the fact that Gizelle is making me like her. I don't like it. It feels weird.
It does feel weird. It feels like I'm being touched in an inappropriate way.
But I also think that she's learning to change. But I also did spill my wine when I heard her try to get Winnie that out. I said, Gizelle, it has been long since you and Wendy have tried to like each other.
Listen, first of all, I ain't never seen Gizelle be that decent in the history of this show. All 10 seasons.
Look, She has never been that decent. She's been wicked, cold, dismissive,
Nasty.
nasty. Remember when she was clapping her hands at Candace talking about tears, tears, tears? Yeah, we got her talking to Wendy talking about, are you okay? You know,
Mm-hmm.
remember what you said before about Eddie, you not knowing the numbers, and Eddie's takes care of all the bills.
Yep.
I'm looking at Giselle like, are you? No, Giselle. You
Hmm.
really giving her out. In Keiarna and Angel, yeah, they're on their own island. Because I
Mm-hmm.
clocked it when Angel said that. Everyone looked at Angel like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was on her own with that one because it's like, why you got all this extra nastiness for this lady when you've been running at her all season? All she been doing is swatting you back. Like, what is this for?
that is true. Look, Keiarna want to enter her mouth into every part. I'm like, Keiarna, if you don't take your picture frame, and the man that you took from his wife and get on and be
Mm-hmm.
quiet.
Oh,
'Cause I'm telling you, Keiarna ain't the Keiarna got on my nerves this season. She was loud, she was extra, and she just had to say, well, I got my picture frame. Yeah, you got your condo, your business, your man that you stole, and a picture frame and no ring.
mm.
I I need Jazzy to come back and spill a tea about what she knows about Chris.
I need Jazzy to
And
come back and spill everything she know about Keiarna too. I need everything
uh-huh.
Jazzy
I
know.
need- look, I say next after this weekend, let Jazzy be a housewife.
You ain't lying.
Look, because at this point she said, "Oh, I'm afraid of. I'm about to take a spot." Yo, Stacy, I know you were hunching Chris, and Keiarna, I know you stole Greg from his wife.
What I will say,
I,
the rest of them had better watch they step around Jazzy because she letting y'all know on Mad Day she telling everybody business.
look, Mad Day was that day because she was coming at them all the way. I said, "Now, Stacy, I know that you're trying to get a flute. Next season, I'm gonna need you to go at Stacy and Keiarna because Keiarna acted up once he heard that she stole Greg." I said, "Oh,
But
it's
she was
true."
acting up beforehand. That's why she got it. Because if you
Hmm.
remember, Keiarna started acting up the minute the viewer question came in about everything that Keiarna had said about Wendy. And
Oh,
she
that is true.
started showing her behind because she wanted to talk over Jazzy and keep her from telling it. And so she was like, hey, you ain't got to do all that. Let's just talk about how you stole Greg from his wife. And her
Look, and when you
eyeballs went like silver dollars.
and you saw everyone's face, they said, "Oh, yes, let's talk about that."
Yeah, let's talk.
邀请
Hmm. Let's
I
talk.
need Andy to stop hosting these reunions. I'm tired of him, his silver hair, his horse teeth. I need him to get off my screen because I'm tired of him not letting people continue the topic. We had Jazzy talking about Keanu, talking about Stacy, and we couldn't get that finished.
I mean, we could say that, but I'm gonna say this: we have to look at this season was very unusual. They did not even have time to give Gizelle a package, so there was no way we could get into all of that stuff.
Okay, that is true.
We didn't. But what I will say this darn shows some good ammunition for next season because all this stuff gonna come back up. Mark my words, all of it is coming back up.
Hmm. Look, we already know Giselle is planning on something because I can see Monique coming back. I can see Wendy and Karen. Season 11 about to be good because if
I feel it.
it's a thing. I will say this: Stacy once Karen came out and said, "I know. Have you been lying about Chris? Because you know what I know. What you know." I said, Well,
It
Karen, yes.
It was Stacy's silence for me. It was the fact that the minute Karen said, "You know, I know," Stacy ain't moved them suckers another inch.
She kept quiet. She said, "You know what? I'm just gonna stay on mute. I'm gonna look straight at Gizelle. I ain't looking at Karen. Mm, I'm gonna play the quiet game."
Yeah, she darn sure played. She won too, because she didn't say nothing else.
Mm.
I caught it. I don't care if nobody else caught it. I caught it.
Oh, I got it. I paused, I saw the face. I said, "Oh yeah, no.
And
Stacy,
I'll go you one further. Nobody will convince me she did not hear Jazzy say if you sleeping with him, he ain't gonna never tell the truth.
look, and
I heard
I
her
know
say
she heard it.
and I
She
know she
said
heard
it.
it because she said it loud.
Said it loud and clear. And Stacy said nothing. She said on this. She sat there and said nothing. I said, I'm like, Stacy, you know that, yeah, next season you ain't safe. And Andy's regretting picking Stacy as his favorite because now you now know she's lying. She knows for lying. She's worse. She's
Andy don't mind I'm lying. I think Andy doesn't like liability. And her telling them kind of stories, and they was filming the children behind your back, telling Chrissy they was filming them children. He know that puts the network in a precarious position. That's what Andy don't like.
Mhm. Look, and I saw it in Andy's face. I said, "Oh yeah, no, Stacy.
I
Next
mean,
season,
she did it to herself.
yep, yeah. I
She
needed
did it
Wendy
to
to stop
herself.
answering
It's like,
questions."
I don't understand. If you want to screw the man, screw the man. Like, he grown, you grown. If you popping coochie, pop coochie, you grown. You know, maybe
Right,
you
I
don't
don't.
want Timu. Maybe she don't want Timu to know she hunching that big old black man, because then he might cut off the money, the supplementary money that he putting over there. Because remember, she said she wasn't gonna ask for no child support because he'll take care of his child. She just wanted, small spousal support. I'm sure he's still kicking in, dollars or whatever, long as she pop a little bit for him. But a lot of men, if they find out you popping it somewhere else, you might not get your same money. And especially if she popping it for that great big old black man. Oh no. Timu will be like,
You
what?
know,
Gotta go in behind him. And you could tell Timu don't really like black folk like that. So I'm sure he don't want to have to go behind no black man.
look, we'll see what Timo says when he sees the reunion.
He ain't gonna say nothing because he barely wanted to film with her in the first place.
It is true. He showed up 2 times in this whole season.
So did.
Three, actually 3 times. Their house,
Something. Yeah,
Tia,
at her with them
and the part, and
when she had them faded pizzas. I still don't know how you make a faded pizza, but them pizzas was
that's
faded
what I
like
want to know.
she watched them with Clorox.
Hmm. And then the potluck, whatever you want to call it. He was there for 1 minute and left.
I mean, maybe he was embarrassed by that potato salad.
That potato salad
like
is a
he don't really
crime.
like Stacy like that. He do seem like he don't like her.
He don't.
I don't know that. That's we could say seem. That might just be his demeanor. Some people just have a disposition that's kind of like dry and rude like that. So maybe that ain't it. But that's how he kind of come off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know LEL, but that's what she said. And you saw what Andy asked Stacy. Like, did you tell that man that she was filming with them children? It was interesting to me because Andy was not going, and Andy was very much looking like he had it with Stacy. And it was just interesting to me that during this same reunion, he just warned her about like letting the fans gas your head up.
And she let them gas her head up, and Karen came in and popped that balloon. She said, "Let me humble you down several steps."
Yeah, Karen tore her head off with that. Like, oh, did you lie again this season?
Look, Jazzy came in with "I know you hunted him," and then Karen came in saying, "I know."
I know. When she said, I know. Those were the words, the 4 words. I know.
I know.
and she said nothing else. We ain't heard another peep from that hooker.
Look, I forgot Stacy was even there by the fact that she was so quiet. I'm like,
Thank you.
I said,
Stacy was quiet, like she was hiding in a Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers movie, like she was hiding in the closet.
mm-hmm. Look, when I saw her on the stage, I said, "Oh, Stacy's there."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, but when Andy said we're gonna take a selfie into the heavily filter, I said, now Andy,
Andy hit that heifer with heavily filtered. I say, yeah, Andy don't like you, Angel. He don't like
look,
you.
look, and I don't know what Angel's face looked like when he said that.
Oh, I do, because I was looking. She looked uncomfortable, but she couldn't. She looked uncomfortable, and it looked like she knew she couldn't really get an attitude with him, but she wanted to.
Look, she wanted to. Look, Andy said, "Look, you get an attitude with them."
I mean, she could have got an attitude with him if she was back that life, because we done seen Kenya Moore get an attitude with him. We done seen Nene Leakes give blues. We done seen women that got some value get with Andy, but she ain't really got that. She's not that.
Yeah, nope. And I'm looking at Wendy when she started thinking, and I'm like, now Wendy, Karen, the one that's telling you don't say nothing, you don't want to thank her for her advice. You want to thank Andy, the one who's kept on pressing you questions, knowing that you can't answer.
But don't say it like that, because she did receive what Karen was saying to her. She just proceeded to keep running her mouth because she didn't understand that Andy was trying to set her up. She didn't say, "Oh, don't tell me nothing. I'm not listening to you." That she didn't do that. We got to be real. She did not do that. But she just kept talking. After Karen is basically, literally saying, "I'm begging you, stop talking." Andy up here trying to set you up right after she begged you to hush, and you up here thanking him.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, Wendy one of them book smart people. That's all I can say. She real smart in a book. Real smart when it comes to a book. And if it ain't a book, then she just ain't got it. Po thing.
That is true.
Po thing. Listen, everybody in the chat, y'all give me what you got for the whole reunion, not even part 3. Overall reunion scores. The whole reunion, I'm going to give them an 8. To me, part 1 was their best part. I gave them like a 7 last week. This week, I could do a 7.5 because Karen came back, and it was, I'm still going to say like an 8. Overall, 8 for everything.
Okay.
Whole reunion, what y'all think? Put your votes in chat. Gossip News, what you giving them?
Okay, let's see. Overall, I'm going to give them a 7.5. Part 1 was great. Part 2 was meh until Jazzy came out and started spilling Keiarna's tea.
Yes, Lord.
3 was something between Jazzy and Stacy and Karen and Stacy. At that point, I said, you know what? Yeah, nope. I'm like, you know what? I recorded it, so now I gotta go back and rewatch it again.
Okay. Bianca said 8.5 for Karen. We got a 7, but from Diva 2, Adrienne Marie gave us a good old 8. We got an 8 from Always. Belize and JB gave them 8.5. Yeah, I think they did decent this year. It was different to see them, go at it the way they did without the husbands. No package for Gizelle. It was interesting. And it's like when you look at the no package of it all, I could kind of see it because Gizelle was pushed into a position where she had to play the anchor for the whole season. She had to play the anchor because Karen wasn't there. And
right.
if I'm gonna be fair, as all the hell I've given Gizelle over the years reviewing this show, she did a decent job as an anchor. She really did. She did a decent job.
She did.
Yeah, she did a decent job. Could she have done better? Sure. But this is Gizelle. And this is the best we've seen her. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that. But final thoughts, gossip news, before we shut it down, because we've been in here over 2 hours, Sugar. What's your
It
final
is
thoughts?
true. I'll say this. My final thought, bring back Karen. Bring back Karen, Wendy, Gizelle, even Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back Keiarna and Stacy. Tia can be a friend of. Let Jasmine become a housewife and let her go at Stacy and Keiarna.
Mm-hmm.
And Angel, I'll see you and your heavily filtered face on Now My Screen.
You so silly. Not her heavily
Look,
filtered face.
look,
Lord.
and her grandma napkin dress. I bid you all good night.
All right. Good night, my dear. I appreciate
Good
you as
night.
always. Bye. So, y'all, that's all. That's it, and that's all. We're gonna have to come back tomorrow. Things are happening. I wanted to come in yesterday, but it was not a good day. I was not feeling my absolute best, so I took it easy yesterday. But we will be back tomorrow because we got to talk about what's going on with the rest of, Black folk news. Okay, things are happening. Adrienne Marie went for extra credit. She said final rating for the whole season, she gives it an 8. That's fair. Angelus Choglo gave him a 7.85. All right. Always says bring the jailbirds back, Karen, Wendy, and Mia. Not Mia. Absolutely not. Y'all not gonna have 2 disgusting liars on my screen. Now, if y'all want Stacy lying plastic wig wearing tail, you got to pick your poison. You either want that one or you want Mia. And I would rather we didn't have Mia, because she actually came on our screen with her crotch rotten, and I've not forgiven her for that. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. But listen, we're going to get on up out of here. Y'all know what time it is. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, I need you to please hit the like button on the way out. Okay. I want to say a special thank you to Shakuru, to my girl, Adrienne Marie, to Terrence, to Belize and JB for supporting the stream. Thank y'all so much. Make sure that y'all hit your notification bell and click all so you'll know every single time. Lord, look at this right at the end. Thank you, Gossip News. Make sure that you hit your notification bell and click all so you will know every single time we go live on this good channel. Okay, subscribe if you have not. Want to join Discord, please do, because they always know when I go live as well. You want to join channel membership, there's a join button beneath the video, as well as a membership link in the description box. Also, we got the link for right here, my book, Little Girl, Big World. It is a survival guide for all of our girls leaving home for the first time. Let's make sure our daughters are safe. If you got a girl leaving home and you can't afford to get it, it's cool. If you go on Amazon, type my name in, it's there. But if you can't get it, reach out to me, and I promise you, I will see to it that you get a copy free of charge on me. But let's keep all of our daughters safe. Y'all know our girls are our best resource, okay? Also, in the description box, we got the link for our merchandise store so you can get your crown gear and represent the royal family. We got the link for our storefront so you can shop for your house like I shop for mine. And we have the link to my Amazon wish list. And people like the Lauren Brown be hooking me up. And my Bianca and them and everybody who shows love off of the wish list. I appreciate any and all support. And I promise y'all, don't ever think little small things don't mean the world to me, because they do. Okay. So I appreciate all of you. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. Good night. Sweet dreams. Remember to say your prayers before you go to bed. All right. And in case nobody else says it to you guys, be positive and productive tomorrow. Okay. When you start your week, encourage the people around you, encourage yourself. And as always, God loves you. I love you. And there is nothing you can do about it. Talk to y'all again soon. Okay.